I would like to turn to the floor for question and answer period. We have about 9 minutes left. Would anybody have some questions for our panelists? Would you raise your hands, please?
My name is Cassius Taylor-Smith from Giant Communications. Just looking at it on a slightly more macro sense about funding and deliverability of both of these two schemes, which are really important for Hong Kong. Could you illustrate a little bit more on how you're going to unlock the deliverability of the private sector development through public sector funding initiatives to make sure that both of these work in a phased manner that suits the growth of Hong Kong?
Is this question addressed to the government, Mr. Jimmy?
Largely to the government,
okay,
yes.
Thank you. Jimmy, would you mind?
It's actually echo KEH's point about, releasing sites to the market in an appropriate manner. All the Kai Tak sites are government-owned, so we can release those sites in accordance with the market situation. But the biggest challenge to government is those sites in the Kwun Tong area, which are privately owned. So many of them are under multiple ownerships. So it won't be easy for a developer to assemble all the strata titles for redevelopment. So we say that it will take quite a long time for Kwun Tong to be transformed. But at the moment, Sun Hung Kai has a lot of projects there, and they have done it. So we hope that in future, this can be also, bit by bit, we transform the area. So I don't know whether I have answered your question.
Any other question from the floor? Oh, I have a question to the panelists. We understand that the government has the initiative to promote outer Hong Kong Island as a future growth for office space. When the government was planning this in process, do they also have other schemes that comes along with it, such as we mentioned about the transport, but how about the residential area in there so that we have the population of the workforce that support it? Could you enlighten us on that one?
Well, at the moment, if you know the area well, the area at the fringe of the Kwun Tong and Kowloon Bay area are all residential. And in the Kai Tak development, we will have residential development there. At the moment, the public housing is actually being built at the North Apron. So there will be a mixed use. It's not just offices for the whole area. So there will be hotel, residential, service apartment as well. So we want to have a mixed use injected into the area.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no other question, I'd like to close this discussion. Thank you, Mr. Leung. Thank you, Mr. Loh, and thank you, Mr. Law. It was indeed an interesting discussion. We have heard from the private sector as well as the public sector views on how they are working together to make Hong Kong one of the greatest cities of the world. All of you are playing an important role. We are confident that all these positive factors are at play and will make Hong Kong one of the greatest again. Thank you for attending this session. Good evening.